Hello, it's Friday. I'm gonna put on my $1 dirty sunglasses for you guys. Happy Friday. I hope you guys are having a good week. I thought I would just come on here after yesterday's goofball live and say hi and give you a little life update after my rant, because I realize I haven't really talked to you guys in a bit. Let me see. Okay, so work is going really well. I am working on a big project for the school system. I'm actually writing a curriculum, so I'm seeing my clients, and I call them clients. I've had this question a couple of times. We call them clients because yes, I am their nurse, and yes, they are my patient. But when we're talking to or about them, we're in a partnership with them. And so we want our verbiage to kind of reflect that we have this working relationship with them, and not so much that like I'm trying to fix them or treat them or nurse them per se. It's more of a therapeutic relationship. So I use a lot of my assessment skills. But yeah, it's just a different way of thinking about it. So anyway, we are piloting this whole idea of bringing the program that I'm in into the school system here in the state that I'm in. And so I'm doing sort of the first little trial run of implementing like a class that they will get high school credit for. So I'm writing a curriculum based on, the outline that basically the stuff that we need to accomplish, like a syllabus type of thing, and then creating the curriculum for it. So I have that going on top of I have 22 clients now. I have 12 babies. So that's really, really cool. And I get to do just like all the things I love, which I'm doing education, I'm working with pregnant women, and, I'm getting to be a nurse and assess people. So it's just great. I love my job. I was working on my master's degree, and I've taken a break from that due to finances, because although I get reimbursement from the hospital, they only reimburse me about 1/3 of every class. And my master's degree classes with books and everything were running about $2,000 a class. So the hospital might give me $500 to $700 of that, and then I was having to come up with the rest. And I've got 2 kids in college. So I don't really want to incur any additional debt. And we're, although my kids are not costing me a lot of money right now, there's just other things at play. So we're on a pause. Trying to put extra money that we have not into a master's degree that I probably wouldn't use at this point, because I'm already making more than an educator would make, and I'm getting to do education. So the only thing that I really thought I would like to do, and I'm kind of unsure on this, is go teach nursing students. Like, I've had that opportunity. I think I told you all I had a job offer to go do that alongside with the HIV clinic, and I chose to open the HIV clinic. So yeah, I think that I'm in a good place right now with work, just FYI. It's not overly stressful, but it's keeping me busy. I think like what's happening right now is I'm not really sure what to do with myself outside of work. And so now that my kids are grown and completely independent of me, and my husband works, he works 5 days a week. I'm not 5 days, 7 days a week. He works all day. He works a lot of evenings, a lot of weekends. His phone is always on because he's a pastor, right? A priest. So friends here, which is really great. And I'm trying to figure out like things to do, and I'm not really sure. So I need to get back into like my exercise routine, because I feel like that's something to do along with it's taking care of myself, it's self-care, and I haven't been doing very much of that. And I definitely notice, because I'm achy, like I get achy if I'm not being really active. So I do okay with that. I will tell you. Okay, so I read this Bright Line eating book, and I didn't really talk to you guys that much about it. These people are driving like cuckoos, like absolute cuckoo. Let's get over so they can pass me, so they don't run anybody over. Anyway, I read this book about Bright Line eating, and the lady that wrote it, who has her PhD in cognitive blah 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 something, was citing evidence that activity and exercise don't actually help with weight loss. If you guys are interested in looking that stuff up, you can. I'm not going to sit here and explain it. So I was sitting here thinking, I don't know if you guys remember my vlog from a few weeks ago where I was really hitting it hard with the exercise, and I was on the elliptical, and I was just completely stalling out. So I'm like, well, maybe that's it. So I haven't really been doing that for a couple weeks, and now I see my weight creeping up. So there are studies and there's evidence, and then there's real people like me who somehow didn't end up in the study, but I know through experience that I actually lose better and I do better when I'm exercising. So we're just going to take that little piece of evidence-based advice that she's throwing out, and we're going to throw it out, because I don't believe it for a second. Plus, the American Heart Association recommends 30 minutes of exercise every day. So, hello. Go away. I'm getting weird text messages from people I don't know. My phone number is out there, and the robots have it. So, I also found out, this is completely an aside. Okay, Bon Jovi doesn't wear headbands or bandanas. The guy that I have been thinking of this whole time, my husband set me straight on this, is the Poison guy. I think it's Brett Michaels. So this whole time when I wear a headband for you guys and I talk about Bon Jovi, nobody out there is correcting me and saying, Amy, Bon Jovi, I can't even picture Bon Jovi right now. Does he have hair? I think he has a lot of hair. I don't think he's ever worn a headband or a headscarf. So now I'm going to have to correct that whole, 2 years of me vlogging stupidity. Okay, so, what was I talking about? Life. Judah and Dakota are planning their wedding. Dakota has ordered her dress. They put a deposit down on the wedding cake and the groom's cake, which I'm all about the cake. Listen, that's the best part. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Okay, so they're getting a 3-tier cake, and they picked butter pecan for one layer, classic wedding cake vanilla for the next layer. I swear, these people, I don't know what's wrong with everybody today. It's Friday, and they're gonna run you down if it's the last thing they do. Go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead. You can speed. Have fun with that. If you get a ticket, it's not my fault. And then the top layer, I think, is also classic vanilla, and that's the layer that they freeze or something for their 1-year anniversary. And then Judah ordered just a, classic, sounds very classy, chocolate, like a rich chocolate cake with chocolate buttercream, and then those chocolate shavings on top for the groom's cake. He just wanted something. He wanted something chocolate, is basically what my son wanted. He said he's doing really well on, I guess he's back on Weight Watchers. He's doing well. I haven't seen him in a couple of weeks because he moved back to the old town that we used to live in to be near Dakota. So they are working on that. I think the next thing that's coming up is they need to get their engagement pictures done and their save the dates and send those out. So they've been working on coming up with a date for the wedding, and that's been complicated mostly because of our church schedule. So I feel terrible about that because it's irritating, I'm sure. But we have a kind of an odd church schedule thing. So Judah and Dakota are working on that, but they're doing well. He's been applying for different jobs, and he switched his major in college, so now he has a couple more classes to take before he graduates. And that's why I didn't do a whole big graduation thing, because he's still got a couple of online classes to take. So he switched from political science to business, and yeah, he did that kind of last minute, so now he's got some dingleberry. I love that word. Dingleberry classes. Oh my goodness, Amy. Okay. So that's what's going on with that. We're just really busy. I watch my husband. One day he'll go to the hospital and do prayers for a new baby that was born, and the next day he's at the hospital saying prayers for someone who is at the end of their life. And we have weddings coming up in the church. We have a funeral probably coming up, unfortunately, in the church. And he's just working very hard at being pastoral and, all of that. He's doing really well. His movie is still, the movie that he's in is still out there at independent theaters. And I think the filmmaker is working on getting that picked up by like Netflix and Hulu and stuff. It's got a great distributor right now, I think is what it is, distribution. So that's still making the rounds out there. I feel very disconnected from that because it doesn't really affect me here where I live. I mean, it came to this area and it was well received, and I think now it just showed in LA, and now it's up in Seattle, Portland area, and then I think it's going back to New York. So it's traveling all around. It's doing well. We'll see what happens with all that if it goes to a more wide distribution, I guess is what you would say. Other than that, I've just been thinking about just living life, and then also in the back of my mind trying to figure out my weight loss adventure, which it hasn't been a very fun adventure. I think you all gave me some amazing and wonderful and sage, positive, thoughtful advice out there. I want to thank you all for that yesterday. It's so funny. Every once in a while I'll have a freak out on my channel, and I have people come out of the woodwork that I'm like, where have you been? Why haven't I heard this before? This is great. There's so many of you that have lost weight and are just, phenomenal, heroes of weight loss. You're just my hero out there, and you're in maintenance, and golly, nobody says that it's easy. My friends in maintenance are like, it's hard. One of you guys said, and I'm sorry if I don't have names for shout outs for you guys, but one of you all said something very wise about, if I had diabetes, I would have to manage that every day. And instead, I'm going the preventative route and managing what I eat and my, health every day so that doesn't happen. So I really appreciated that comment. From Dumpy to Diva, I believe that's her channel name. She always writes the most amazing, comprehensive and organized comments on my blog. So thank you so much. I really appreciate your support, and I feel like you just have a lot of wisdom. So I really appreciated your comment. I think one of the comments there were a few comments that kind of struck me yesterday. And I do read all of your comments. I try to put a heart next to it when I read it. Sometimes the hearts don't pop on there, but when I read your comment, I send you a heart and let you know that I read it. I read every comment on my channel, just so you know. You guys are very important to me, and I really respect, you know, even if you have a differing opinion, I really respect that you would take a moment and put that out there for me. So, you know, I had sort of different comments and different thought processes, but what was interesting to me is that the majority of you really think I should give freestyle another chance. And I had one of you say to me, you said, Amy, you were happier when you were on freestyle. And so I read that last night before I went to bed, and I was like, what does that mean? Happier, like in general, happier, like I was happier with freestyle, or I was a happier person on freestyle. And what's funny is that I have all these vlogs out there for you guys to sort of reflect back to me. You guys are like mirrors for me. And I was like, you know, I look at the end of my little freestyle jaunt, and I probably should go back and watch those vlogs, but it's really hard to watch myself right now because I'm in such a funky place with all of this. But I had started eating really low point, like a lot of low point foods, and then in the evening I would save points for like ice cream every evening and wine every Friday night, along with eating out every Friday night. And it was like I would stay within my points, but I was eating all of my weeklies. And I think the only thing that really kept me from gaining, I was losing very, very slowly, like 0.2 or whatever, from what I remember. This is from what I remember. I think what kept me from gaining is I was walking a lot, and I was still drinking my water, and I was getting steps in at work. I have a very sedentary job now, and that has made a huge difference, and means that I need less calories, basically, because there's no way I can't get the activity in that I used to, unless I really up it outside of work, which is definitely a possibility. I shouldn't say I can't. I should say I haven't tried. I have not tried. So this idea of me being happier on freestyle, I think that there's some happier with the process. I think that there is some validity to that, and I think that maybe my issues with freestyle are and were somewhat self-inflicted, in that I found a way around the program, if that makes sense. And I want a program that I can't find my way around. But here's the thing, you guys, I believe this, and you tell me what you believe. We can cheat all of these Weight Watcher programs to the point of not losing. I remember back when I first started Weight Watchers, it was calories, fat, and fiber, and you could find these breakfast cookies that were such high fiber that before they adjusted the program, you could eat one of them for like 1 point. And then I remember when they switched to to Points Plus, and we had to count differently, and there was a cap on fiber, all of a sudden those 1 point breakfast cookies were 5 points. And everybody was like flabbergasted, you know, oh, you've screwed us, Weight Watchers. And the reality is, we're kind of cheating the program. Do you know what I mean? I feel like there's a way to cheat freestyle. You can eat lots and lots of 0 point foods and save all your points for stuff that is not great for you, and then eat your weeklies on top of that, and you don't lose, and you wonder why. I think that I think that's a flaw in the program, but I don't know that, or maybe okay. I don't know that WW knows that we can cheat pretty much any one of their programs because we're good at it. This is, I don't know. You guys are probably going to say, Amy, you're totally off base. But when the program first came out, like, I remember the Weight Watcher leaders saying, you know, oh yeah, you can eat low point or 0 point food all days and have a special meal at the end of the day. And we were like, oh yes, I'm going to save all my points. I'm going to eat 0 points all day long so I can eat whatever I want in the evening. And then you wonder why you don't lose. The other thing is this whole idea of decreasing our intake as our weight goes down. And there are ways to cheat that as well. So I really appreciated some of the comments that you all had about how you learn to do freestyle. What I'm taking that is you learn to do freestyle the way that it was meant to be done, and you're not cheating the system. Okay? So, sorry, I always cross myself right there because that's where I had my car wreck. Anyway, you guys give me some feedback on that and tell me if you agree with me that if there's a will, there's a way. And yes, if we want to cheat it, if we want to cheat the program, it's very easy to cheat the program. Very, very easy to cheat the program. So I think if I do freestyle again, I'm going to have to keep myself in line. You guys might have to keep me in line too. So with that in mind, I was thinking, if I do freestyle again, which I'm going to try to make a decision by tomorrow's weigh-in on what I'm going to do, it would probably behoove me to do some more vlogging of what I'm eating to be accountable to you guys. And then you can call me out when you see me eating ice cream every night. I don't know. Maybe I need, 6,000 WW police on my butt. I don't know. I mean, I really got to take a responsibility of it for myself, but it does help me to put what I eat out there. When I was doing that before, I was doing really well. I think just because I had to be so on it. But I will acknowledge that when you guys were on me for the process stuff, I was, selectively hearing what you were saying. Because I do feel like when I eat a lot of the low fat or whatever ice creams, like the Chili Cow and the Halo Top, or a lot of Built Bars, or a lot of whatever, I don't lose as quickly or even at all. So I just don't do well on the processed stuff. Anyway, a lot to think about. I have a lot going on in my head. And I will acknowledge that I overthink. I really do overthink. That's my entire life. It's not just with Weight Watchers. That's the type of person I am. And I think you guys know that about me now, having seen me for the last couple of years on here, is that to my detriment, I overprocess. I'm extremely rebellious too, because I'm a redhead. And that's also an issue, is that I want to be like what I think everybody else is like. We went to Olive Garden last night, and I got salmon and zucchini and had salad. My husband got lasagna, and he had salad and breadsticks, and he had tiramisu, and he had coffee with cream. Asher had a steak, fettuccine, Alfredo, breadsticks, and they're both this big. You've seen them. So bratty Amy wants their metabolism, and I don't have it, and I can't eat like that, and oh, woe is me. There's such bigger problems in life, and here I am, a brat. So anyway, thank you all for your comments and your feedback. I am taking every comment to heart, and I really am trying to be thoughtful and not stupid. I do want to continue vlogging because it's helpful for me, and it sounds like for some of you guys it's helpful too. Maybe so that you can say, I'm not going to be like Amy today. I'm a what not to do channel. You have all these like vloggers out there that are like, how to clean your house and how to be perfect on Weight Watchers and how to, live in a tiny house perfectly. And Amy is a what not to do on Weight Watchers channel. WNTWW. I'm going to change the name of my channel to that. What not to do on WW. So anyway, thanks for watching. Stay in orbit. Look, hey, I'm still in orbit. Look, I'm still here. So that there has to be, is there like a reward or something that I could earn for that? Oprah's not contacted me, by the way. Dang it. She's not going to feed me mangoes on her Hawaiian property. So we're going to have to go with plan B. I will see you guys later. I don't know what I'm going to do about tomorrow. I am going to my meeting, but we'll see what else happens. Okay? Bye.